Yes, good morning everyone. Good morning everyone. Am I audible, visible to all of you? Yes, everyone. Am I audible, visible to all of you? Yes, good morning. Am I audible to all of you? Yes, hello everyone. Am I audible to all of you? Good morning everyone. Yes, Asta. Yes, good morning. Okay, those who are new here, let me introduce myself. My name is Harshvardhan Singh and I have 8-year experience as an educator in the field of civil services. Earlier, I was selected as an intelligence bureau officer, and currently I am taking session of world history and international relation on this platform. On this platform, I am going to take the lecture of economics as well as I am going to take all the aspects of history, including history optional. So those who want to connect with me, then this is my Telegram channel. Through that, you can connect with me. Whatever the doubts or queries or questions you are having, you can contact with me through this Telegram channel. Yes, those who haven't subscribed to Unacademy yet, I ask you to please take a subscription of Unacademy. It is more beneficial for you in that we are providing the two options plus as well as iconic. I insist you to have an iconic subscription because in the iconic subscription we are going to provide everything study planner, personal coach along with that personal feedback. Yes, and whenever you're going to take a subscription, please use my code. This is my code Harshvardhan. This is my code, and with help of these codes, you will get 10% discount. Along with that, you're going to count as my student. Yes. So this is the optional course, optional subscription. And recently, as some of you get this UPSC Combat, this is our new initiative. And for the details, you can just read this article. Yes, and the prices are also there. If you win that thing, the prices are basically yes, MacBook, iPad Mini, AirPods, and now. Yes, yes, Ashwini. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Shall we start, or shall I have to wait for some time? Today we are going to discuss an important topic in the world history. As I mentioned, this all topics are important because questions are asked from this section. So that's why all topics are important. Colonialism and imperialism, why it is important? Because it changed the course of the history. Yes, it changed the course of history. There were several consequences of it, impact of imperialism and colonialism, and yes, there were many countries who were the victims of it, and India is one of the best example of victim of colonialism. Yes, Am I visible or not? Yes, my voice is clear to all of you. Yes, everyone. Voice is clear. Yes, everyone. Whether my voice is clear to all of you, whether this slide is visible to all of you, imperialism and colonialism. Yes, everyone. Yes, everyone. Now, am I visible to all of you? Yes, now visible, audible. Slide is perfect. Video is stuck. I don't know what to do. Oh, some technical issue is there. Mhm. I don't know how the video is stuck and how to restart it. Okay. Mhm. I don't know how to deal with this thing. But if my voice is audible to you, then that is okay, and the image is visible to you, then it will work. I don't know how to deal with this technical problem, and I hope that it is going to be normal soon. Yes, everyone. Yes, shall we start? Yes, Asta, Ashwini, shall we start? As the problem is there, and I don't know how to deal with this problem because such type of problem is I'm facing first time. Yes, yes, shall we start, everyone? Yes, okay, we can continue because uh, what is most important slide and whatever I'm saying that is most important, and another most important thing from your side that you have to respond. Okay, so this is a map of colonialism and imperialism. The world is totally covered by handful of the country. Just look at here, it is mentioned British Empire, Spanish Empire, French Empire, Russian Empire, Portuguese, Dutch, German, Belgian, Ottoman, Japanese, Italian, USA. So if you consider the number, how many of these are there? Maximum 15. So these 15 countries ruled the world. Yes, these 15 countries ruled the world. Let's take example of British. Here is a tiny island. Yes, this is in Britain. This is Britain. And Britain ruled over USA. Then Britain ruled over here. Britain ruled over India, Pakistan, Bangladesh. This portion of Africa was under Britain. Austria was under Britain, this area was under Britain, New Zealand was under Britain. Yes, whole Indian subcontinent was under Britain. Yes, even this part is over under Britain. So just imagine a tiny nation occupies one of the largest territories in the world as a colony. How it was possible for them? Yes, how it was possible for them. That is most important. Along with that, just go through the French. Here is France. Here. Here is a France. France is, as compared to India, it is a very tiny country. But still, France is having rule over this part, that is Indochina. They ruled here in this African continent. Yes, they ruled here Madagascar. Yes, so just imagine these were the tiny country, but still they were having influence, they were having over the most vast landmass of this world. Clear? So so who were the main proponent of this ideology of colonialism? Britain. Second one is France. Third one is Spain. Spain and Portugal. These two were having influence over the Latin America. That's why the word Latin. Yes, Latin America. So here is the influence of Spain. Here it is a Spain, Spanish Empire, and here is Portugal. Brazil was under Portugali rule. Clear? Brazil was under Portugali rule. Is that clear to you? So Portugal rule was there. Here it is also there in India. Portugal rule. Yes. So this is just a diagram or image which shows the influence of Western powers over the world. Clear? Yes. Is that clear to you? Yes, everyone. Is it visible to all of you? The one problem is still I am facing, and most of you are facing. Yes, everyone. Yes. So these are the questions which should comes in your mind while discussing imperialism and colonialism. What is imperialism? What is imperialism? The second question should be what is the significance of it? Means why these European countries followed the policy of imperialism. Yes. The next important thing, impact of imperialism. Impact of imperialism over the world. Clear? And the fourth, does it having any connection with the colonialism? Yes, everyone. These are the four questions which should comes in your mind while discussing this topic. What is imperialism? What is the significance of it? What's the impact of it? And does it have any connection with the colonialism? Yes, now video is yes, the session is going on very well, or still the buffering problem is there. Yes, everyone. As Ashwini mentioned, there is a buffering and all. Yes, everyone. Now is it okay, or still the problem is there? Yes, I ask you the question. At least I'm expecting an answer, because with help of this answer, it is possible for me to explain the thing. Because right now you cannot see me, but I can read your message. Yes, so these are the very basic question which should comes into your mind. That is, what is imperialism? What is the significance of it? What's the impact of it? And how does, or does it having any connection with the colonialism? So my very basic question to you: what do you think? What is imperialism? Yes, what do you think? What is imperialism? Yes, Asta, Ashwini, and others. There are many people who join me but don't know why they are not having communication. Yes, what do you think? What is imperialism? I'm asking you this genuine question because I firmly believe that you have idea related to it. What is imperialism? Hmm? Yes, everyone. What do you think? What is imperialism? Yes, everyone. I'm waiting for your reply. Does it so difficult, means whether it is so difficult to answer this question? And yes, those who join me right now, I appeal to all of you to have a interactive session, because this is not a one-way dialogue. Yes, what Ashwini said, rich and powerful country rule over the poor country. Sankalpa said policy of country to establish control over new area. Yes, anyone other than these two girls? Is there anyone? Imperialism is a policy of imperialism is a policy of expansion of empire. In very simple word, if we want to define what is imperialism, imperialism is a policy of expansion of empire. Clear? For what? For what? There should be some reason, no? Without reason, you are expanding that empire. It's a meaningless. For territorial gain. Yes. So, in simple word, what is imperialism? Imperialism is a policy of expansion of empire for the territorial gain. And during the medieval time, it was considered as a symbol of prestige and status if you are having empire. So that's why this thing was very common during the medieval times. Yes, this thing was very common during that time. What is the significance of it? Yes, what is the significance of imperialism? The significance of imperialism is basically creation of powerful empire. Creation of powerful empire. Yes. So what do you think? What's the impact of imperialism? Yes, Ashwini said significance are for political, economic, and religious. Is all point of view. Yes, exactly. The creation of powerful empire, that is significance, and it is having several dimensions: socio, politico, economic, and religious. Yes, that is the case. What do you think? What's the impact of imperialism? A general question. And yes, those who are new here, please do not take tension that this person is asking question and this person is asking answer from us. It is not the case. I just want to know the ideas from you, whether you have a clear cut idea or whether you have some confusion or whether you don't know. So these three possibilities are there. I just want to check it out, and I am here to explain the things to you. So do not take any tension of it. So what do you think? What's the impact of imperialism? Yes, what do you think? What's the impact of imperialism? Yes, Sankalpa, Ashwini, Asta, and rest. I don't know how many. There are seven people are showing that seven people are active, and I don't know who these seven are, as they are hiding their identity. Yes, what do you think? What's the impact of imperialism? Basic impact. What's the impact of it? The political impact was introduction of Western ideas, rise of slavery. Yes, Sankalpa said this thing. Ashwini said expansion of territory, profits and trade, religious expansion. Yes, this impact is having three aspects. That is socio, politico, and economic. Yes, the political impact is basically gain of territory, gain of territory, economic impact. What's the economic impact? Economic impact was drain of wealth, exploitation. In general, it is, we can say, what is the economic impact? Economic impact is basically, we can say, uh, what we can say in simple word, more money. We're going to discuss the words and what it is. It means as this particular territory is going to attach, then this country, particular country, is going to get more money in the form of taxation. Yes, that is the case. And religious, sorry, social impact. Social impact is basically, what we can say, it is having religious angle as well, expansion of religion, or sometimes expansion of ideas or imposition of ideas. Yes, such kind of thing. This is generalized thing I'm talking about. So my another question to you. Yes, I'm having another question to you. That is, does it have any connection with the colonialism? As some of you, as some of you didn't read question properly, my question was basically stick with imperialism. But most of you, while answering that, you mix up the colonialism in that. Yes, I didn't ask about the colonialism. I was very firm with the basic concept of imperialism. I didn't say this imperialism is having the modern aspects. I just asked what is imperialism, how it is having impact and all. Yes, so Ashwini said it has the impact or it has a connection with the colonialism. How do you have any idea of it? Yes, so this is an pictorial depiction of the colonialism and imperialism at that time. Yes, this is a queen. Yes, and these are the other European powers. This is the Japanese forces and all Chinese, Japanese, and all are included. And what's the aim of that? Yes, to capture the territory and all. This is a very best representative picture of imperialism and colonialism. Yes, so this is the just a basic idea of it. Now we are going to discuss everything in detail. Yes, everyone. So what is imperialism? What is imperialism? First point, it is a national policy. It is a national policy of the country to establish control over new areas. Yes. So what is imperialism? Imperialism is a national policy of the country to establish control over new area. The word is new areas. Clear? Before industrial revolution, this is the point. Before industrial revolution, it is confined to territorial expansion only. Before industrial revolution, it is confined to territorial expansion. That means expansion in neighboring area only. Yes, at that time when before industrial revolution, imperialism is very confined to the territorial expansion to grab the territory. That is the most important aspect of it. And where they are going to expand their territory. Of course, in the neighborhood. Yes, in the neighborhood, in the neighboring territory, they are going to capture that. Clear? What it makes a difference? What industrial revolution makes the difference? That is now after industrial revolution. Yes, after industrial revolution, it gives new meaning. It gives new meaning, and that is a geographical expansion. Means, in short, it is a beyond. It is beyond neighborhood. Yes, after industrial revolution, it gives new meaning, that is geographical expansion. Means beyond neighborhood, means far from their land, and maybe this geographical expression found expression in far-flung areas, or in other words we can mention beyond the continent. Yes, beyond the continent, beyond the neighborhood, means right now they are not strict. Means for example, this is Europe. Now they do not want these territories because these territories were already there under. Now what they want Africa. Yes, now they want Asia. Yes, Akshay, after industrial revolution, search places for new material slaves like Africa, India, and all. Yes, so beyond means after industrial revolution, a new meaning, that is geographical expression beyond neighborhood, beyond the continent, and now they want to find the new areas. For what? Why they want to? Why they want new areas? Yes, as we are here, as we mentioned, after industrial revolution, it gives geographical expression. That means they are moving beyond their limit, beyond their continent. Why? What they want? What they want? Yes, Akash said raw material. Do you agree with this? Yes, he said that raw material. Do you agree with this? They want a raw material. Yes, do you agree with this? Yes, exactly. That is resources, raw material. Exactly. This geographical expansion is having all these aspects. After industrial revolution, geographical expansion, raw material resources, means mineral resources, human resources, that is essential for them. Next point, with the increase in the demand of tropical product. Yes, this is the word. Increase in the demand of tropical product, leading to the establishment of colonies. What does it mean? What do you think? What is the meaning of the fourth statement? With the increase in the demand of tropical products, leading to the establishment of colonies. What it means? Yes, everyone. Tropical product, which are considered as a tropical product. Yes, everyone. What do you think? Which comes under tropical product? Product like cotton. So, do you really think so? Cotton is a tropical product? Yes, Akshay and Ashwini mentioned the spices. Do you really think so? Cotton is a tropical product? If it is, why you considered it as a tropical product? Yes, everyone. Hmm. This question is related to geography, but still I am asking. Hmm. Other than this, means as I asked the question why we considered cotton as a tropical product, do you have any answer for it? Yes, do you have any answer for it? Is there any third option? Third, can we mention sugarcane? Ashwini said cotton is tropical product because it requires high temperature. If you go through the NCRT, there is NCRT, India, Land and People. In that you will get the cotton. Yes, in that they mention cotton required this type of soil, cotton required this type of environment. So in that environment, it is mentioned that cotton required 210 frost-free days. Yes, 210 frost-free means without any, means basically high temperature is required and frost-free. If frost is there, then cotton is not going to produce. So basically it requires more temperature, and yes, of course, you all are right, exactly. Sugarcane, can we include sugarcane in that? Can we include tobacco in that? Yes, can we include tobacco? Can we include sugarcane? Yes, actually, this year UPSC repeated the same question which UPSC asked, I think, in 2011 or 12. The same question they asked related to the cotton. Same, exactly, word to word same. Yes, can we include sugarcane? Can we include tobacco in the tropical product? Yes, sugarcane, tobacco. Yes, exactly, Ashwini. Indigo. How can you forget the indigo? India is having very close connection with this issue of indigo. Yes, so now there is a demand of this tropical product. Why cotton? For textile industry, spices, huge demand, sugarcane, indigo, of course, for textile industry, for dyeing. Why sugarcane? What do you think? Why sugarcane? Why they want sugarcane? I'm purposely asking this thing because these products we already discussed somewhere in the world history lecture. So I'm just checking whether you remember it or you forget all the things. Yes, everyone. What do you think? Why sugarcane is having demand in European market? Do you have any idea where we discuss this thing, discuss this issue of sugarcane in which topic of world history? Yes, any wild guess? Anybody is having? Yes, am I audible to all of you? Am I audible? As you're not responding, so that's why I'm having confusion whether am I audible or not. Yes, everyone. Why sugarcane? Yes, Ashwini, exactly. We discussed this issue in American Revolution. And at that time, we mentioned sugar cane. Sugar is an important raw material for rum. Yes, Sugar Act. Exactly. We discussed that. So when industries are there, distilleries were there, so it is an important product for them. Yes, in American Revolution we discussed. Clear? So all these points are clear to all of you, the tropical product and why there is a demand for these products. And it is mentioned here that increase in the demand of tropical products leading to the establishment of colonies. Leading to the establishment of colonies. What's the significance of the colony? What do you think? What's the significance of colony? Why these European power considered that they have to establish the colonies? What do you think? Why this European power wants colonies? Demand of this product was there, so that's why they established colonies. Is that so simple? Or is there any other hidden meaning in that? Hmm? Everyone? Yes, I'm waiting for your answers. What do you think? Why they established the colonies? Just there is a demand of tropical product. That's why they established colonies. Is that so simple? Or is there any other meaning of it? What Preeti said, for the markets as well as for raw materials for their industries. Okay. Yes, other than Preeti, is there anyone who can participate? Sankalpa said market for their produced goods. Okay, yes. Ashwini said for industrial revolution. Very basic thing I just want to tell you, that is colony. Why they want colony? Colony is a tool of or for exploitation. Colony is a tool for exploitation. Means they want economic exploitation of the territory. How? How? So whatever you said, it is having two angles. One is purchasing of raw material and another is selling the finished product. How? Let me explain. When initially they were having trade, let's take example of Britain and India. When initially they were having trade, that Britain is going to sell their product of 10 rupees and India were selling their product of rupees 100. So there is a trade imbalance. India is having trade surplus and British is having trade deficit. Clear? It was the case. So they are purchasing a product of rupees 100 and selling a product of rupees 10, so 90 rupees loss for them. So it was the initial case. What they did, they started gradually establishing India as their colony by hatching the conspiracy and all. They started doing so. Yes, they started doing so. What's the significance of it then? Yes, what's the significance of it? After establishing the colonies, what they did? After establishing colonies, Britain dictate the terms. Britain dictate the terms, and now they India to produce, ask India or Indians to produce raw material for them, like indigo, cotton. They ask to produce by contract farming, by contract farming means they ask Indian to produce raw material through contract farming, and once they produce and wants to sell to Britain at that time at that time means, suppose if they considered that product is of 100 rupees, Britishers are going to say they don't want to purchase it for 100. They said we are going to purchase it for 20 rupees. So please tell me one reason. Yes, everyone, please tell me whether you are going to sell the product of 100 rupees. If your product is of 100 rupees, you are going to sell at 20 rupees or not. Yes, everyone. Very simple example. India suppose produced a product of rupees 100, and now Britain is asking that product to purchase at rupees 20. Whether it is possible for you to sell that product at rupees 20. Are you going to sell that product? Are you going to sell that product for rupees 20? Yes, everyone. Very basic question. No, of course not. But still you have to sell that product for rupees 20. Why? Why? Because no other buyer no other buyer is there. You produce the cotton with the contract farming, and Britishers say that they cannot afford that much. They can afford only 20 rupees, and you don't have any choice. You just want your money back. So that time you have to sell this thing. And that's why Indian farmers were poor. They are poor. That is the reason. Clear? That is the reason that they have to sell their product, as there is no choice. Tell me one thing, that if you are producing 1,000 quintal of cotton at your place and nobody is going to purchase it, then what is the use of that product? Are you going to eat that product? Yes. Can you fulfill your appetite with the help of that? Of course not. So you don't have choice. This is the one form of exploitation. Yes. So here Britain saved 80 rupees. So 80 rupees profit for them at this place. Yes, this is the one form of exploitation. Britain saved 80 rupees. It's more profit for them. Clear? Is that clear to all of you? Why colonies are important for them? That is the reason that They can have a contract farming. They are the sole purchaser of their product. They force them to produce the thing, and once they produce, they say that they cannot afford it. So it is a one of the form of exploitation. Clear? On other hand, on other hand, a finished good means textile and all. They are going to sell that product at the highest price. Let's take example. They are selling that product at highest price. Akshay said, so that is the reason Gandhiji introduced charkha for use of Indian cotton for Indians. Yes, 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 exactly, Akshay. Because when Britishers or these colonial powers adopted this policy of exploitation, what they did, they destroyed, they destroy indigenous industries. Yes, when they started the policy, they destroyed indigenous industries. Like earlier, we have cotton and textile, handicrafts was there, handloom industry was there. So they destroyed it so that your raw material is not going to used at your place. So you do not have any other alternative than selling that product to Britain. Yes, and they are the selling the same product with the higher price. So this is a two form of exploitation. One at the receiving it, another at the selling it. So why these are the tools of exploitation. First, they purchase raw material at the cheapest price and they sell their finished product at the costliest thing. This is a form of exploitation, and that's why they want colonies. And yes, remember this thing. They are definitely going to do that. They did that and they are doing so right now. The capitalists are having the same mentality. They are basically ending the possibilities or options available for you to sell your product. And once this option is destroyed, then you do not have any choice. You have only choice that you have to sell that product to the capitalist. And it was a case we saw this horrifying nature in the past. Clear? Do you find any resemblance anywhere in the world? Yes, whatever I said, do you have any resemblance, such kind of thing? Is that clear? Yes, is that clear to all of you? Yes, everyone. Is that clear to all of you? Any question, any query? Now, no problem, no question. Okay. So, if you find any resemblance, it is just a coincidence and it is not related with our country. It's a fictitious thing. Yes, that it happened in past. So we always have this caution that this thing should not be repeated. Clear? Next thing, European powers were promoting their interest in two ways. While having imperialism or colonialism, they are having two aspects of it. First, to export their people, and second, colonies for exploitation. This is a very important image. Through this image, you can easily considered how these European powers considered the nation state, they considered the territory. As you know, this is the Britishman, this is the Frenchman, and they are dividing, they are cutting the territory. This is mine, this is your, and all. Such kind of thing was there. Yes, everyone. So there are two aspects: export of the people, and second, colonies for exploitation. Export of the people, what it means, and why it was there. Yes, what it means and why it was there. Yes, Akshaya, Sankalpa, Ashwini, Preeti, and others. What do you think? Hmm. Export of their people. Why country want to export their people? Is it a product or article that we can export them? Akshay said, sir, industrial revolution is going on entire Europe. Then why Britain is the only buyer for cotton, or other countries took the cotton from whom? It is not the case that Britain is the only power at that time. There were other countries. When we discussed the American Revolution, that time we didn't mention there is a demand of the cotton in Britain. That time we mentioned there is a cotton boom in Europe and America wants to take advantage of it. We discussed this thing in the Civil War. So demand was already there in the European market, as Britain is a pioneer in that field. So that's why we always give the reference of Britain rather than other powers. Yes, everyone. It is just because of that reason we give the reference of Britain every time, because pioneer in this field. Ashwini said export of their surplus population means basically countries are being going to kick or throw them out of their country. Yes, exactly, Ashwini. Whatever you said, export of their people because of surplus population, because of the surplus population. And why it is so? As you know, after the Renaissance development in the field of science, mortality rate reduced in such a manner the population growth increased. And right now, as you know, the territory is limited. They cannot they cannot sustain that population in within that territory. So for that reason, they want the colonies. They want to shift their population. So they want to shift the surplus population to the other country. Yes, export of people because establishment of British administration and British way of life. Actually, it is not at all that aspect. Yes, it is not that all aspect. Surplus of population was there. They cannot sustain that population within that territory. Yes, that's why they want a land. That is the first aspect, and administration is a different aspect of it. Basically, they want to export this surplus population so that people can live the life with the dignity in other place as well. And the second, colonies for exploitation. These are the two important interests of European power. That's why they promote. That's why they promote imperialism. That's why they promote colonialism. Yes. So the process started with the imperialism. Later, it gets shaped of colonialism. So these are the having aspect. Next, Europeans sent their people mainly to America, Austria, and etc. and established colonies at Asia and Africa. Why this injustice with Asia and Africa? Yes, this point is there. Europeans sent their people mainly to America, Austria, and established colonies mainly at Asia and colonies at Asia and Africa. What do you think? Why this injustice with us? Why they didn't implant their culture at our place? Yes, if they implant their culture, we were considered as a Western world. What do you think? Why they established Asia and Africa as their colonies and America and Australia where they sent people? Why this injustice with us? Hmm. Everyone, what do you think? Any reply from your side? Do you have any answer? Any wild guess? Why the injustice with Asia and Africa? Why not Europeans settle in our territories? Hmm. No answer, no reply. Why, boys and girls? Why? Knock, knock. Yes, boys and girls, what do you think? First of all, you are responding so lately, so that's why. Akshay, Europe and America is having suitable climate for British people. Equatorial place is humid and not suitable for them. Yes, exactly. As you know, the climatic condition that as means Asia and Africa is a tropical environment. A tropical climate is there. And you know that these people, basically people from Europe, they are having, yes, Europe is having which type of climate? Temperate climate. Means basically this is having hot climate, this is having cold climate. So it's not possible or it's not very feasible for them to adjust in Africa and Asia because of hot climatic condition. But it was very easy for them to adopt the temperate type of climate in American continent as well as in Australia. Why Australia? Because most of the cities, if you know the Australia, then the cities Melbourne, Perth, yes, these all cities are basically located on the coastal belt, and you know that in coast there is no harsh type of climate. The climate in coastal areas are basically moderate. So that's why if you know how many cities established by the British in India, most of the cities, yes, if we consider the map of India like this, most of the cities they established on the coastal areas. For example, Mumbai, that is Bombay, Madras, that is Chennai, and Calcutta, that is Kolkata. All cities established by the Britishers in coastal areas. Why? Because of the climatic condition. Climate is not so harsh. Ashwini said Asia and Africa were completely underdeveloped. So what do you think? America was developed at that time? Really? Yes. America was on the same pace. Latin America was having the same pace. Means there at least Asia was having civilization at that time. Africa, Latin America, even American continent, the Northern America, they were having the tribal people. Yes, the tribal way of life was there when these European powers went there. Clear? So this is the main reason. In European people settled in America and Australia because of the climatic condition. A temperate or moderate type of climatic condition was there. But if they considered Asia and Africa, it is having tropical type of climate, and it's on. Along with that, these places were very useful for tropical products like sugarcane, cotton, tobacco, and all. That's why that's why European power controlled these places as the colonies for exploitation. Yes, is that clear to you? Yes, everyone, is that clear to you? This point is clear to you? Yes, everyone, is that clear to you? Any confusion, any doubt, any question? No question. Very good. Now, the factors responsible for rise of colonialism. Factors. So what do you think the factors responsible for rise of colonialism? What are the favorable things that leads to the colonialism? First is discovery of new land. First, discovery of new land. As you know that from the 15th and 16th century that European were searching for a new land. Basically they want to find out India, and in the hope of India they found out the new territories in the world. Yes, with the discovery of new land, as we mentioned, they have two aspects in that. First, to export the population, and second, second, tropical product. So demand of tropical product was increased. Yes, so discovery of new land is responsible for colonialism, because this new land act as a place where the surplus production population can be sent. Along with that, from these new lands they are going to create raw material, a source of raw material, as well as this colony can be act as a market for finished goods. This point is clear? Good. Next, economic consideration. Economic consideration. What's this economic consideration? What do you think? Yes, everyone, what do you think when we say economic consideration? What it implies? Economic consideration. What it implies? What do you think? Yes, exactly. Economic exploitation is economic exploitation. In other word, we can mention the word drain of wealth. Yes, Sankalpa, exactly. Exploitation of the resources. In short, we can mention drain of wealth. So this is the factor, because they got the opportunity to exploit the country. Don't you think so they are going to lose this opportunity? They are going to say, no, no, this is injustice with that country. No, it wasn't. They do not want to do that. So that's why when they tasted the blood how can they forget it? They want more. They were the bloodthirsty, and this blood is of exploitation of wealth. Clear? This is second point. Third point, industrial revolution is also important. And why industrial revolution? There's two factors you already mentioned, and that's why I ask you. The first factor, raw material. Second factor, finished goods. Clear? So this point is clear and I don't want to explain. Next, problem of surplus population and need of rehabilitation. This point we already discussed. Yes, no need to explain. Role of missionaries. How the role of missionaries is important or responsible for rise of colonialism. What do you think? Yes, what do you think? How the role of missionaries is also important for rise of colonialism. Spread of Christianity. As you know, this is the period generally pre 1789 where the Christianity, spread of religion and establishment of common idea. This is the period of pre 1789, and at that time we mention what is dominance of religion over the administration, and they forces monarch to find out new landmass. They force the monarchs to find out the new landmass for spread of Christianity. Yes, how role of missionary is important for establishment of colonies because they force king to find out the new land, and when they establish control, then this missionaries is trying to propagate the new ideas of their religion in that particular place. So that's why role of missionaries is also important, because if they weren't forced at that time, it was not possible that king are going to promote the sailors to find out the new landmass. Clear? Is that clear? Yes, this point is clear to all of you. Next, next, better means of transport. Better means of transport is also another important aspect of it. Better means of transport is also another important aspect of it. How? There are two reasons. With the better means of transport, fast communication. Yes, it is a fast means of communication so that you can travel from one area to another area within a short interval of time. Yes. Second most important thing, that with help of better means of transport, what is the advantageous thing? More load can carry. So when you're going to carry more load, when you're going to fast, more profit. And you know, money is very important aspect. If anybody is finding out that more profit is there, definitely people or country wants to exploit that opportunity. Yes, am I right or wrong? If vast means of transportation is there, more load carrying ships are available with you, don't you think so that you want to earn more profit? And yes, for the more profit, to earn more profit, what you want? You want colonies. So that is also one of the factor responsible for rise of colonialism. Yes, why earlier people don't want that? Because it is a very slow means of transportation at that time and risk was more involved. Now risk is less, fast means of transportation, and that's why it promoted colonialism. Ashwini said products will also not get destroyed because of long traveling like sugar. Yes, 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 exactly, exactly. Because of the fast means of transportation. Exactly. Now you get it. Means as some of you know this thing, that is one highway is constructed by Britishers. That is earlier it was considered as an express highway, Pune Mumbai. Yes, this road was built by Britishers. Then this road would continue, and after independence in 19th decades of 19, Indian government and Maharashtra government decided to have this expressway. So do you know that it reduced the time? Earlier it takes a journey, a 5 hour journey between Pune and Mumbai. Now it reduced to maximum 2 hours. So do you know that many Punekars are traveling to Mumbai on daily basis with this of fast means of transportation? It's not a big deal right now. Forget about this Pune Mumbai highway and all. Just take consideration that Indian roads are quite better nowadays. If you want to go from one place to another place, it's very easy and you can return on the same day. But do you know that previously the people were talking like that if they want to go from one area to other area, they were talking like they want to go from one town to another town. It was it. Why? Because means of transportation was not so good. Right now, it's the best. Yes, exactly. Point is clear. The next thing, and this is another point, that is colony was a symbol of status and prestige and glory. So when it is a symbol of prestige and glory means more colony, more powerful, less colony, less powerful, no colonies, no power. So it was a condition of that time. They considered capturing territory, capturing a colony is a symbol of status, and because of that reason, that promoted the race for colonialism. Yes, it promoted the race for colonialism. Clear, everyone? Yes, so this point is clear how it is promoted colonialism. Next, disunity among the people of Asia and Africa also responsible for rise of colonialism. How? How? Yes, what do you think? Disunity among the people of Asia and Africa is also responsible for rise of colonialism. How? First thing, yes, exactly. Ashwini said diversity. Yes. What about rest? Yes, Sankalpa, Preeti, Akshay, Astha, conflict resistant, princely state, and all. First of all, as we mentioned, disunity among the people in Asia and Africa that leads factors responsible for rise of colonialism because these people failed to understand the real nature of colonial power. Yes, I'm talking about this condition in Asia, as our princely state, native states, or the rulers, they failed to understand the real nature of colonial power. Along with that, what was the situation in Africa? Africa, they were living in the tribe. Yes, they were living in the tribes, and these colonial people followed the policy of divide and rule there as well. What they did, they provoked one tribe against other. They were fighting, and these people took the advantage. Clear? Is that clear? Why disunity was there? Because policy of divide and rule was there, and these native people failed to understand real intention of this European power. Yes, exactly, the Preeti. Lack of trust between the local powers. Yes, point is clear to all of you. Yes, is that clear? Point is clear to all of you. Yes, point is clear. Shall I explain another thing, another factor? Yes. Now, the impact of colonialism. As we mentioned, whenever the word impact is there, it is having three angles: political, economic, and social. Yes, political, economic, and social. If you know this thing, it's very easy for you to write down the points. Let's take example of political impact of colonialism. So first and most important, that is spread of modern ideas in Asia and Africa. Spread of modern ideas in Asia and Africa. How it is so? The modern ideas is like, of course, liberty, equality, fraternity, along with that democracy. Yes, so these are the spread of modern ideas in Asia and Africa because of this political master. They do not have any intention to spread this idea, but once they provided the education for their own sake, but people learn this thing from education, and now the learned people, they were stood against the colonial rule, and finally that leads to colonial revolution. So that is the important impact, the political impact spread of modern ideas in Asia and Africa. Clear? Second, it provided the political unity. This word was there. Political unity in the colonies. As you know that. Let's take example of India. India was divided into several native states and all. What Britishers did, most of the territories they included as a part of British India. Means basically when we are talking about the British India, they gave us a political identity as a nation state, because previously we do not have that identity. There are very few rulers who gave such identity to us. For example, Ashoka the Great, this gave this person gave this identity. Then Akbar the Great and the Mughals continue this identity. But what after the fall of Mughal? Again we were destroyed, distorted. These Britishers, they provided us a structure of political unity. And as India is more civilized than any other countries in the world, so basically they provided the political unity in Asian continent as well as in African continent, where the African continent was divided among themselves in tribes. Clear? So this is an important political impact, providing political unity. Third, a new system of administration introduced by them. Do you agree with this? Yes, do you agree with this? A new system of administration established by them or introduced by them? Yes, what do you think? A new system of administration established by them or not? Of course, yes, a new system of administration which is based on rule of law. Yes, and of course, very best example, Indian civil services. And you are preparing for the same services. Clear? So this is a new system of administration established by the European powers in that particular country. And you know what? After end of their rule also, we are still following that practices because it is based on truth. These ideas were noble, administrative structure was good, so that's why we adopted it. Yes, exactly, exactly. Next, rise of slavery was an important aspect of colonialism. Why? Because colony is a tool for exploitation, and how to exploit the colonies in in good manner. So they want labor, and if the labor is available at a free of cost, then it is the most beneficial thing for them. So that's why slavery promoted due to the colonialism. They want labor, and labor provided in the form of slaves. So that is a negative political impact of it. And the last, bitter political rivalry between European powers, and that leads to the wars. And these wars became the factor for World War. I don't think so. This point is important for explanation. You know all this point. Yes. The next thing, economic impact. Economic impact is having two aspects: positive impact. For example, industries in Asia and Africa. Basically, we are talking about modern industries. Establishment of modern industries in Asia and Africa. This is an important aspect of it. As pre-colonial ruler, our industries were traditional. We produced very less. So it was not possible for all to wear the clothes. But with help of these modern industry, availability of any particular product at the cheapest rate. So that's why everybody can afford that. So that is a positive impact. Growth of modern industries in Asia and Africa. The another important positive impact, that is development of railways, banking, insurance. So these institutions or these structures or means of transportation is very important gift given by these European powers to Asian countries and African countries. Clear? So this is another important aspect, economic impact. But there are some negative impact as well. The negative impact, that is crippled the local traditional industries. The local handicraft industry was there, they destroyed. Handloom industry was there, they destroyed. So when they destroyed the local traditional industries, then at that time there is no scope for local consumption of your raw material. And because of that reason, it acted as a tool of drain of wealth. So drain of wealth, economic exploitation of country is another impact of it. Yes, everyone? Clear? This point is clear to all of you? Yes, this point is clear. And now the last impact, that is social impact. We discussed the political impact, we discussed the economic impact, and the last part of it, that is social impact of imperialism and colonialism. First thing, the most important social, it adversely affected the religion of local people. Religion of local people means those who are your local ethos or practices. Because of the advent of Christianity, it affected lot. The traditional values were there, they all lost relevance because of the spread of Christianity. And you know what? The African continent, the southern part of African continent, Christianity is the main religion. In the northern part, Islam is the main religion. Why it is so? How it is possible? They were the tribal people. But with the spread of colonialism, spread of Christianity was also there, and people adopted this mean, and because of that, it affected the local religion or religion of local people, and sometimes they revolted against the colonial masters over the same issues. Yes. Next important thing, that is Christian missionaries played an important role in spreading education and development in the health structure. So this is basically a positive impact, as Christian missionary main idea of Christian missionary is to spread Christianity. But at the same time they want to serve the society, and these are the tools to serve the society, that is missionary school, as some of you quite aware of this. Convent, the word is convent, and another word is English medium. Most of you students are English medium students. Convent students are quite different. So this convent, this is a part of missionary education system. Along with that, there are various hospitals running all over the world. That is also an important aspect of Christian missionary. So it is also the impact, because spread of education and health structure in the colonies, this is an important contribution. And why it was so? Because Christian missionary is responsible for spread of colonialism. Racial segregation. Yes, racial segregation was another important aspect of it. That is black, white, brown. Discrimination. Basically, racial discrimination was an important aspect of it. Earlier, yes, your color doesn't matter a lot. But once they tried to discriminate the person on the basis of color, then this is known as racial segregation policy. Means you know that in Indian context, in Indian history, some of you might read this board that dogs and Indians are not allowed. Yes, I always have this question. It is okay that you have written for Indians. They can read. What about dogs? Are you donkey? Don't you think so that they don't know how to read? Means basically you show that you are a foolish person. Racial segregation is another important aspect of it. And the fourth, that is untold misery and suffering along with the million dead. As you know that natives killed by colonial masters. This is a untold story. The world is untold misery and suffering. As you know that when European power went to America, at that time their population, the population of natives, they are known as Red Indians. Their population is around 95%, and you know what? Right now their population is around 3% of the total population of America. It is the same thing with the Australia. It is the same thing with the New Zealand. These European powers started killing them, ending their influence in that particular area, and started a policy of expansion. And now they all westernize that particular area, and these native indigenous rulers, indigenous people lost relevance. Clear? Is that clear? Yes, everyone. Do you have any question, any query? Yes, everyone. Do you have any question, any query? Yes, everyone. Do you have any question, any queries? Yes. Is there any problem? Is that clear to you? Or still doubt are there? Any question, any query, any doubts to understand the imperialism and colonialism? No. Akshay said no. What about rest? Yes. So I Hope you don't have any problem. So that's all for today's lecture. Thank you very much for your valuable time. And yes, those who want to contact me, they can contact here. This is my Telegram channel at Unacademy underscore Harshvardhan. Whenever you want to subscribe, please subscribe the Unacademy and use my code. Harshvardhan is my code. And whatever the problem and queries you are having, you can contact me. There are other social media platforms as well. You can connect with me. I don't have any problem to answer you. Remember one thing, whenever you are going to ask the question, it's my duty to reply you. Yes, as a senior, I want you to get all the information. Yes, and one more thing, please follow me on Unacademy app so that you will get the updates of the lecture. Along with that, if you like my lecture, the word is if you like my teaching or way of teaching, then please tell this thing to your friends and the circle so that they can attend the classes. And one more thing, you can dedicate whatever the hats you're getting, you can dedicate it if you like it. Yes, so that's all for today's lecture. Thank you very much for your valuable time. Have a good day. And today evening we have a lecture on international relations, and in that lecture we are going to discuss India and Iran bilateral relations. So that's all.